Here's the bet. If I get 100,000 subs, I will buy the Vision Pro and I won't do a tax write-off. I will buy it with my own personal money.
All right, what's going on, guys? So Apple announced a lot this year during their WWDC event, and despite me asking a ticket, they respectfully said no. However, our sponsor for the video was able to give me an early access, so you guys can thank our sponsor, Nobody. So I know this doesn't exactly look like the Apple Vision Pro, but the sponsor gave me an early prototype. But trust me, it's still feature rich, and I'll show you guys in real time of what I'm personally seeing. So for those of you who aren't in the loop, Apple Vision Pro is Apple's augmented reality headset, which in layman's terms mean creating a digital experience in your reality. And from what they showcase, the experiences really stem from entertainment use, business use, and personal use. And it costs $3,500, but more on that later. This is priceless. So in order to set up the device, all you have to do is look at the headset and it will do a scan of your eye, which is now called optical ID. So now I'm gonna slip on the headset, and the first thing that I see is a bunch of apps similar to macOS, but it's directly in front of me. And if I want to select an app, all I have to do is look at it, and it is pretty accurate, and I just click. And that's it. So now you're probably asking, how am I going to scroll this article that I'm reading? Well, you just have to do hand gestures like as if you're clicking and pulling the screen down, and sure enough, the article is scrolling right in front of me. I mean, this is truly amazing technology, guys, and it's so snappy. This is incredible. So another cool feature of Apple Vision that Apple showcased is using your existing MacBook to have a virtual monitor and multiple screens in front of you. Let me show you that right now. So I'm just going to get my MacBook, open it up, and then when I look down at my MacBook, okay, there it is. This is incredible. This is phenomenal. This is the future, guys. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't want to buy this. Now, there are some people in the comments saying that using your hands is kind of stupid. You might as well just use your keyboard. Apple thought of that. So you can actually use the Magic Keyboard as well as, the Magic Mouse, or I should say the Magic Trackpad. So I can just start typing away. Now, the last thing that I want to showcase that Apple also showed was the movie selection. So I'm just going to open up the Apple TV. So I'm just going to say, hey Siri, open Apple TV. There we go. And I have a movie playing. Now, right now I see the movie in front of me, but I want to be fully immersed. So I'm just going to pull the screen up and have it be 100 feet long. This is insane. I mean, the movie theater is right in front of me and I can see everything. But you're probably thinking to yourself, why can you still see my eyes? Apple thought of something. So I'm currently watching a movie and it is a fully spatial audio enjoyable experience, but you guys see me right now with this digital display on the outside. Now, as much as I love to joke around on this channel, and some people might say that the headset is dumb, who would ever use something like that, I said the same thing before I started using VR, but these technologies like AR and VR, when you put something over your face and you enter in a different world or have stuff added to your existing world, it's really hard to describe the feeling to other people. And I hate to say it, but it's something that we have to try in order to fully understand. Which is why, despite how skeptical I am of these $1,000 headsets, whether it's by Meta, Microsoft, Google, and now Apple, this is just the building blocks of something great for the future, potentially. Or maybe this can be a novel moment in human history and we could have been saving the planet instead. I'm not immediately saying that this is a fantastic product or anything, but it's probably one of those things where you can't knock it till you try it. Not this prototype, but the actual thing when it comes out next year. My initial reaction during the event was, wow, this is actually some pretty cool stuff.
Whether extending a small portion of your room,
there's no way that's the resolution. With your macOS apps in front of you, or you reliving a panoramic shot that you took on a trip. And then my reaction got to, this is pretty dystopian, when the daughter came into view and is talking to, I guess, her mother or her friend with the headset. And it just seemed like a layer of disconnect. And then once the event was over, my feelings were, this is still pretty cool and I'm pretty interested.
because despite how dystopian this might be or feel, the tech itself is cool, and that's what I want to talk about. So to navigate, there are no controllers. Your controller is your hand and your fingers, and you just make gestures to swipe between menus, photos, or even news articles. And if you want to make the screen bigger for the movie or TV show you're watching, you just pull the tab outward. To go over some of the design and features real quick, the battery life is 2 hours, but if you want to plug it in, you can. So that kind of leads me to believe that this device is primarily going to be stationary in a room or a showcase area for a business or, your bedroom. I know Apple showed a woman on a plane watching a movie, but let's be realistic here. No one is taking a $3,500 headset on a plane to watch a movie or a TV show. You're gonna leave it at home. It's the Vision they're trying to sell you on. Get it? Vision OS, their Vision, stupid joke, I know. A lot of aspects come from their existing products. The back looks like a huge Apple Watch band. The inner parts is like the mesh on the AirPod Pros Max. We have a digital crown, and you can just look at this thing and tell that it's an Apple product. Not this product, but the actual thing. So there is laminated glass on the front, and what powers the headset itself is the M2 chip and a new R1 chip. So they already mentioned that this is compatible with the Magic Keyboard, Magic Trackpad, and the mouse, and even your MacBook as well. So you can just look at your laptop screen and then have multiple screens generated in real time that you can interact with your hands, your eyes, and your voice. So when you take a step back and you see what Apple is presenting, it honestly looks like something out of a sci-fi film. Like when you're getting debriefed on how to stop the world and you put on the headset and it's just a digital world explaining to you how to stop the world. And then, you have plot armor and you just end up saving the world. Obviously, from the examples that they showed, it's pretty basic for just your own workspace, like Messages, Safari, most likely YouTube.com, some music, but it's the potential that's there. It's the potential we need to be focusing on. Now I want to talk about the entertainment part, which Apple really tried to sell here. I mean, they even brought out the CEO of Disney and had Mickey pop out of a picture frame. You almost got me there, Apple, because Mickey has a soft spot in my heart.
Oh boy!
Not quite so.
So Apple says you can scale any TV, movie, or video media into a 100-foot screen. You heard me, 100 foot. So take a 55-inch TV and just pull it out, just like that. So you can load up a movie like Spider-Man, tune out the rest of the world by making everything dark, and have your own personal movie theater on a big screen. I mean, ignoring the price for a second, guys, how crazy does that sound? I know it sounds funny, but when you sit back and actually think about it, your own world becoming your own personal movie theater in your existing reality, not a VR headset, an AR headset, it's kind of crazy. Now, yes, you can do this in VR, but I would say in terms of execution, Apple's headset might be the best experience so far. Then once your 2 hours is up at the headset, you're back in the real world. Now, they also mentioned that you can play games and whatnot, which is cool, but I mean, at least from what I saw, they were playing 2K and it didn't look that great, so it pretty much just seems like Apple Arcade within a headset. Cool. Now, for personal use, I hate to say it, this is where it becomes a bit dystopian, but it's a trade-off of this technology. Now, one of the most talked about scenes in the keynote was the father who was at what seemed like a birthday celebration for his daughter. He was taking videos and photos with the headset itself. And then he can go back and review them later and have more or less a better memory of what he captured since it's more immersive. But I mean, isn't it easier to just pick up your phone and snap a photo or video of your kid? Absolutely. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. However, when it comes to immersion, that's where things get dicey. I joked around with my chat during the live stream when the mother was sitting in a mainly empty room, like no television or stuff like that. And it's probably because she spent all the money on the headset. And then her daughter walked in and she's looking at her daughter through the headset. And the daughter's looking at the mother and it just looks weird. Like it just doesn't look human anymore. and that human connection seems to be gone.
Hey mom, I'm in the living room. By the way, do you see me? You didn't buy a TV because you spent all the money on your AR goggles that only one person could use. I'm exaggerating, by the way.
But once again, the tech is cool. And the fact that you're in the middle of something and the outside person can tell when you come into view, you can see for yourself. I mean, it's just so effortless how Apple's able to implement this. I repeat, once again, the tech is cool, but how much are we willing to sacrifice that human aspect when it comes to interacting with other people? They also showed a clip where you can conduct a meeting or, have a FaceTime call, but the other people just see a 3D model of what it captured at the very beginning whenever you set up your, 3D scan. I mean, I have to see how good it looks, but it's still not me. It's not human. Now, regardless of what you think or how you feel, the biggest talk is the price. $3,500. That's a lot of money. A lot of money for a product that is for a niche group of people. And it's going to be even more niche because of the price itself. I mean, don't get me wrong, AR and VR is cool, but the people that are into that stuff is such a small percentage of the entire population. And these companies seem to be investing quite literally hundreds of billions of dollars into this stuff. And I would say the only people that are going to buy this product are A, tech creators to keep their channel alive, B, Apple fans who have money to burn, and C, tech enthusiasts who have money to burn. The system itself is kind of hard to buy into because it's a new OS and there's not much you can do other than entertainment, in my opinion. Sure, you can use it with your MacBook, but I feel like it'll be more of a novelty thing using it with existing products like this. But it will be cool, to get my friends to come over and get their thoughts on it. But when it comes to productivity, it's unmatched because the existing tools we have now in our present day is just way better and more efficient. AR and VR are cool technologies, and despite the headset only lasting 2 hours, I would say for a person who has used VR, using it for more than 3 hours is kind of excessive. And I'd argue around that 2-hour mark, I'm personally done. Now, am I justifying Apple's battery life in a $3,500 headset? Absolutely not. But the nature of using AR and VR just doesn't seem that valuable, especially for the price that it's asking for. Maybe in 5 years, when we have a more fleshed out Vision OS where there's more support, more apps, more everything, and couple that with a non-pro model starting at $1,000, that's when things start to make sense. But for now, that barrier of entry is so high for people that it's not really for the masses like you and me. The price is truly for enthusiasts and developers who want to try out this tech and give feedback to Apple to make a better product for the next iteration. For example, if the headset was priced at $1,000, it would sell out quick and it would be accessible to a lot of people. And the feedback they get might not be the best, and that might actually damage the Apple brand because the amount of money and years they've been spending on this for them to just flop to the general public, it will damage the Apple brand and people will lose faith that, they're not that innovative because, that's what people are saying as of late. Is Apple as innovative as they were 5-10 years ago? And Apple's not going to do that. They're going to make that barrier of entry super high and make this limited. And it's really more or less just an expensive developer kit because it's going to be laying out the framework, hopefully, for what Vision OS is supposed to be in the next 5-10 years. Now, the question I'm asking myself is, will I be getting one? We'll see when the product comes out in 2024. I already told my audience if I hit 100K subs by the end of the year, I'll buy it with my own personal money. So appreciate the sponsor Nobody for flying me out to my office chair to watch the event. Appreciate every single sub, like, and comment. Let me know what you think of the Apple Vision Pro. And as always, guys, much love. There's no bloopers. I'm just gonna stay in here and then it's gonna fade to black.